everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, Ad Astra. Pretty excited about this. Brad Pitt, Tommy Lee Jones, Donald Sutherland are all in this one. I don't know what kind of roles they play, but I assume Brad Pitt plays some sort of astronaut that is traveling in outer space throughout the solar system to find his father, or to find out what happened to his father. Evidently his father had some kind of mission that is now threatening life on whatever planet they live on. I assume Earth. I don't know. Small little synopsis on IMDb. What I do know is that it's a 7 on IMDb with over 69,000 people rating it. 69,000 people have rated this movie on IMDb. That's pretty big for the movies that we normally rate together. So you might have already seen it. I haven't. So I'm going to get into it, find out a little bit more about it, see if it's any good, and let you know what my thoughts are. So stick around. I think it should be good. I like Brad Pitt. Alright, I'll be back. Hey everybody, I'm going to do a quick check-in here. We're watching Ad Astra. We're at the 1 hour, 11 minute, and 33 second mark. So, just over halfway. Just about over halfway of a 2 hour and 5 minute movie. Brad Pitt, as we know, plays the astronaut. His father was involved in Project Lima. I'm not quite sure exactly what that was, but he's like stretching the limits of outer space, getting to the edge of their solar system, kind of thing. For exploring, I think, is what the purpose was. But what we've come to figure out, or what they think, is and that he had disappeared and was never heard from again. And but now they think he still might be alive. And the theory is that he's creating these shockwaves, or surges is what they're calling. They're like power surges that, you know, are interrupting some of their space stations, and it's also creating some kind of debris and stuff like that that could ultimately, I'm not sure I understand it completely, but it could you know, wipe out Earth, essentially, is what they're saying. And they're saying that Brad Pitt's father is the one responsible for it. So they recruit Brad Pitt, who's like an all-star astronaut. His heart rate never goes over 80 kind of thing, so he never panics. Even when he falls from a space station and has to parachute onto Earth, he remains calm. But they want him to go to Mars and send a transmission out to his father, who they believe is on Neptune, to see if they can get a response from him so they could track him and find him and take him out so he'd stop with these surges. That's what it's about. And so Brad Pitt, of course, agrees and you know, starts his journey. And then it's not like it gets weird, but you know, I'm watching it and it's like, okay, so they do like a little bit of testing for him, like, you know, asking a question more psychological or anything like that. Next thing you know, he's on the shuttle and he's going to Mars. And he's asking weird questions. I had to rewind it. And at one point he says, "Can I have a towel and a blanket?" Like you would on a plane. And so I was like, what is going on? I wasn't quite sure. Rewound it twice, and that's what he said. And then I think what it's like. And then when he gets to Mars, Mars is populated with people. So they have a space station on Mars. And, you know, so it's like a little bit farther in the future, and people live there. And so this was like a first-class flight that he got to go to Mars. And then from there, he's kind of secretly trying to send this message without other people knowing. So it gets a little hazy there. It's like it's not, at first it seems like it's a government-run or NASA-run mission, but then they have to go to the dark side of the moon. On their trip there, there's pirates that try and take them out. And then, you know, even more and more, it goes on, and he sends the message, and they won't let him know if he's heard it. They say he's compromised the mission. So now he wants to go and try and find his dad in Neptune, so he's got to kind of hitch a ride on a rocket that's leaving. And that gets a little very far-fetched and strange on what they do with that. You know, because you would think that it's very secure and difficult to do, like everything else has been so far on this. But it's like he went in an underwater cave kind of thing. I don't want to ruin too much of it for you. So I know I often say in a lot of movies there's not a lot of development. And I don't know if I could say that. It seems like it's not overdeveloped because it's not there. It's interesting. you know, it seems like it's fast, and all the pieces aren't right there. So, I don't know. I don't know if that makes any sense. I'll try and think of a better way of saying it. Right now, my point was to share with you what the real synopsis is of the story. So, he's on his way to try and find his dad. But it seems like, I don't know, the story itself has progressed farther than the story we're actually seeing. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know. Let me think about it a little bit more as I watch the second half of this movie. If anything interesting happens here, I'll pop in and let you know. Otherwise, I'll see you at the credits, give you my final thoughts, and we'll take it from there, alright? Stick around. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of Ad Astra, and I don't know. I don't get the 7 rating, that's for sure. I mean, it wasn't absolutely terrible. Brad Pitt's in it. It's pretty visual, kind of exciting, I guess, any movies about space. But as I think about it, like I liked Interstellar. I thought that was a good story. There's parts of it that I wasn't too crazy about, like the ending and stuff like that for that movie. But I thought it was well done. Gravity, another one, which George Clooney, the other, Interstellar has Matthew McConaughey, and George Clooney's in this one. Brad Pitt's in this one, but it falls short for me. I was trying to think, like, I thought the best way I could say it is, I think, like, think of a movie that's based on a book, which this could be, and I don't know that. And, you know, everybody's very familiar with the book, so you don't need to put everything in the movie, and it all comes alive. Like, that's how I feel. I feel like it wasn't all there. I mean, I get it all makes sense, but it didn't give me enough to care. You know, Brad Pitt, his father, I understand everything. I get it. You know, like I said, he disappeared into space and he wants to find him, and I don't care. You know, he's jumping like in space, like he's just untethered to, you know, the ship or anything like that, and just jumping around and moving around. Like in other movies, I was like, ooh, that's like a no. You know what I mean? You could get lost in space, that kind of thing. And more things just like that. And I don't want to go into too much detail in case you watch it, but those are jumping. He's hijacking, not even hijacking, and it's not like that's what the movie's based on. Like it's like like I said, he wanted to catch the rocket to try and get to Neptune, and he, you know, like kind of sneaks his way onto the ship. And when you watch it, it feels out of place. It's not a movie that you do that in. Like, it seems more like they're more, hey, like you can't sneak on an airplane now. You're gonna tell me you can sneak onto rockets here and join the crew on that and everything like that. So it's like, I don't understand it. It seemed like it wanted to. I don't know how to even explain it. It's not like it's not serious, but I don't know. Maybe that makes sense. I don't think they set it up correctly in those regards. Like using an airplane, and people sneak onto an airplane. Well, you can kind of see it the way that's directed, and the whole movie's going, and it's like, okay, that could feasibly happen. Here, the whole movie's more like streamlined rules, process, and I don't know. I know I'm not making sense. So check it out on that part. You'll see what I mean. I just thought that the unrealistic pieces of it felt out of place. I felt that the story was undertold and didn't get my buy-in on the whole thing. So, and it was 2 hours long. So it's like after 2 hours I should be like, man, I can't wait. I wish, you know what I mean? Like, I hope there's a sequel kind of thing. No. I mean, I think a sequel would be better now because I'm a little bit more vested in these characters than I was for, you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm rambling now, and I apologize. I don't have a lot good to say. I think it started out pretty cool. And I was waiting. There's a lot of kind of cool when you talk about space and travel, and there's a lot of good stuff there, but no thanks. I don't know. I'm disappointed in it. Too long for me to invest my time and not to enjoy it that much. So that's what I got. I don't know. I don't want to go into any more detail. I think you're probably going to want to see it anyway. But I don't think it stands up to any of the other space movies that we've recently seen at all. I'm trying to think of that other one. Mars. Mars was another good one. Not this one. It's like you can't just take an all-star actor and throw him in some space movie and not tell it well and think it's going to be successful. Maybe it was. And maybe, I don't know. Not with me. You can't do that with me. I'll tell you that right now. Can't do that with Kimmel's Irish Pub. So, I don't know. Make sure you have the 2 hours. Don't force it like I did. If you're going to watch it, I'll put a link in below so you can go ahead and click on it and watch it. And, but if you have other things that you want to see, check them out first. If you're running out of things to watch, throw this on, because you got to see Brad Pitt in space, right? But lower your expectations. How about that? Maybe you'll be pleasantly surprised. That's all I got for you. Sorry if I took up too much of your time. They took up too much of my time on this movie. And I'd love to hear your comments if you do watch it. Like my channel. Tell all your friends. And come back again. Kimmel's Irish Pub.